This narration is for educational purposes only. It is not buy or sell recommendations.
Good afternoon, fellow ES traders. It's the narration of the ESZ for 12/10/24. Let's start with this candlestick chart. So this is yesterday's trading day daily candle. So we have our value area high, value area low, and our naked VPOC. So going into for today, me personally, I'm thinking from yesterday we have a lot of shorts in the market. So I'd be looking for first at the open who's in control. That'll give me a better idea of where my targets are going to be. Statistically, we have this chart. So let's see, we opened higher inside of range. Got 98% chance of tagging the IBH and L. The initial balance high or low in the first hour. 95% chance of overnight high or overnight low. 89% chance of the previous value area high or low, which is these lines here. 84% chance of overnight VPOG. 81% chance of previous high or low. 77% chance of overnight mid. 74% chance of overnight high. So we'd be looking here. So these have already updated for the closing for today. But that'd be what I'm looking at. Statistically, do I have more targets above or below? And at RTH open, who's going to be in control? And then from there, make a better plan of, do I want to get long or short? But overall trend down. Higher time frame. Looks like we're going south of the border, so keep that in mind. So one thing to look at too is how we've been making these higher lows, higher highs. So once we broke each of these lows, all those stops just got taken until we pretty much came to this VPOC here, tagged that, and that was it. So that's what I'm looking at. Yesterday's naked volume point of control, how are we going to behave once we tag that? So going into today, I really want to see, that's a potential short, not a trade recommendation, but that's my thought process at RTH open. So if we go down to quantum land, immediately sellers are in control. And just observing, it's just input we're gathering right now. There's no entry for me. So we look for, once we have sellers, even right here, didn't hold, but once we have a buyer above the seller and we start creating a new range, now we've kind of changed direction. Here we have VPOC migration. So typically that could mean potential downside pressure. Once we cross back above, now we're in a mean reversion, two-sided trade. But then we quickly go back under. So once we break that low, that's a potential short, not trade recommendation, but we could have gotten in here. I mean, that's also more aggressive. But where's your stop? That's the thing. Here you could have your stop above VWAP and VPOC, but could also wait for more development to unfold. So here, I'll label this. This is important high volume node. Once we start going range bound in a particular area, it creates that, like I did in the other video yesterday. Break out the rectangle. It's a little bit easier when you box it in like that. Kind of gives you an area. So we break. This could be a short squeeze, I don't know. Seller's covering. Some retail longs getting in that. So let's see, let's also do our opening as well. It's an area of resistance you want to keep an eye out for. Don't quite make it. So at this point, I'm thinking more mean reversion. Looking for outside edges, resistance. No entry for me here. So we come up there, meet some resistance. So we're getting close to the initial balance area of 930. So this is valid. So we have our IB high. So looking at this, we also have a naked VPOC. So that's the area I was looking for. What do we do? So now we have confluence, two areas of interest for either breaking above, retest, resumption, or pierce, drop below, retest, and then south of the border. So we have our first pierce, bounce, could be long. Not doing anything yet until we touch that naked VPOC right there, which we just did. So now that we've touched that, this would be a short for me. Not trade recommendation. But being patient to see what happens. You break above, come back down and retest. You get a clear break above. You know, and catch some liquidity up here or something, come back down, test, find support. Resumption for a long. We didn't do that though, we just pierced, chop, broke. So this is telling me everything right here, this break. Tried to bounce. But that's not the area I'm looking for. I want to get it above here, retest. Statistically to have a better chance of winning. So let's see what it does. VPOC migration. So now what's signaling here is this is too low. This is now the fair price. So does that mean we're going long? That's only if we stay above it, continue to break through these levels here, which we didn't do. So if not here, here, not trade recommendation, but we know this is going to be resistance because we've broken below it. And let's see what it does. So that would be an IBF trade. And that's the feeling I had. Feelings are irrelevant, but that was kind of my thesis. I wanted to see a rejection at the naked VPOC for continuation down. And to scale too. I mean, here would be your first, same with this high volume node I tagged earlier, being support. So 71, almost 10 points. That's a good trade. First 3 points in, get risk neutral. I mean, if you got in here, potential add. If you get risk neutral, 68. Come back, put on some more. Not trade recommendation. So I find support. Back in more of a mean reversion, break back above. We got VWAP and mid. Maybe some sellers there. So then we break back below, curl back up. This is nothing here for me. I'd be looking at yeah, no entry for me. The IB low, here we go. So, let's see. Now this would be another trade, IB low. For an IBF, so we would need to see a pierce, retest, and then resumption. Just chopping around through it. So potentially here. Which in hindsight, I mean, it'd be the same here. Stop above VPOG. So stopped out on that one. It'd be a tricky. It's nice to have, like, perfect world to break above slowly, curl back up, retest, and then. But we didn't get. That's a pretty quick move right there. And who's to say that over there wouldn't be one of these? Hindsight, yeah, that's the one, but you don't know that. Complete out. Yep, that'd be the last one. All right, guys. Well, see you tomorrow.